free you.
What would you do if you were freed? I'd go after the Kingslayer.
The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings raises the stakes. You don't have to choose great visuals, or a great story, or the element of choice, or fun exploration. Instead, you get to have it all right here, right now, in a single game. But let's back up a bit. The Witcher 2 does have some problems, noticeable ones. And yet when all is said and done, it's clearly a special game. Phenomenal visuals set a dark tone that the game runs with. Personal and political stakes mingle to the point where the choices you make don't just affect you and those closest to you, they impact sorceresses and kings, and thus change how your adventure plays out. This role-playing game is absorbing and exciting, and it's stuffed with moments you will remember for some time after the 30 hours or so it might take you to finish it. A quick warning, however, The Witcher 2 is a story-heavy game. We've taken care to avoid spoilers, but if you're sensitive to them, proceed at your own risk.
Who are you addressing? Me? Yourself? Or the archers in those shrubs?
So what makes The Witcher 2 so amazing? Well, we can start with the visuals, if only because they'll immediately draw you in. They're certainly technically impressive, offering up gorgeous lighting, authentic water effects, and fire that looks terrifyingly like the real thing. But this is the incredible sweet spot where technology meets art. Feathers fly off of harpies as you attack them. The most mundane sights, like walls and columns, aren't just copies of textures, but look meticulously crafted. These might sound like little things, but when every little thing shows so much care, those little things add up to an extraordinary artistic vision. The game might tax your hardware, and some frame rate dips and stiff facial animations occasionally distract, but they distract only because almost everything else looks so stunning.
What do you want?
The pleasures don't end with the visuals. You again play as Geralt of Rivia, the monster hunter from the first game. The original Witcher ended with an assassination. The sequel continues that thread. The story combines the personal with the political. Geralt has been blamed for the murder, and so he must find the actual assassin and clear his own name. And he still seeks clues to his murky past. But his search for both gets him swept into complex political intrigue involving rulers, sorceresses, and other characters, all of whom seem to be hiding something. The final act sort of clunks to an end, so don't expect a conclusion worthy of what led to it, but the journey there is still engrossing. Sex and violence are both important themes, and they're often juxtaposed in ways that reinforce the maturity of this tale. But where the story impresses is when you make game-changing decisions. Choices you make don't just determine how immediate story events play out, they have dramatic impact on the entire game. The characters at your side, the enemies you face, and plenty more differ based on your decisions. And these aren't good or bad choices. Your decisions are morally ambiguous. Geralt isn't a hero or a villain, he just seeks the truth. And your decisions aren't based on doing simple right or wrong. These choices stand out all the more for the memorable moments that surround them. There are great story moments to be sure, but the gameplay sequences are even more outstanding. A lengthy battle in a golden mist, a sequence in which you change identities, and many more events will be etched in your brain for quite a while. Part of the fun comes from the combat, which is more traditional than that of the original Witcher. Swordplay involves slashing, tumbling, and blocking. And to further keep the odds on your side, you cast magical signs and lay traps or throw bombs. You also drink potions, though this must be done in advance when you meditate. The combat has a great sense of weight, and it certainly looks wonderful, but it also takes some getting used to. The tutorial is trial by fire, and through the entire first act, combat is pretty difficult. Sometimes it's challenging in the right way. Occasionally, it crosses the line into cheapness and cruelty. The upside is that you feel more powerful as the game progresses, and aside from the weird difficulty spikes, battles and boss fights are a lot of fun, particularly through the second and third acts. Unfortunately, some of The Witcher 2's problems are a little tougher to swallow. It's possible to break story quests and have to reload an earlier save game or hope that you stumble upon another way to continue. Waypoints and mission descriptions might not update properly. And the interface needed some tightening up too. You can't easily compare your own equipment with a merchant's, for example, or easily sell vendor trash. The problems are unfortunate because The Witcher 2 is so gorgeous, so dark in tone, so mature, and so involving that you'll be swept away. And what a world to be swept into. It might be violent and bawdy and torn apart by war, but it also has magic and dangerous creatures and moments so astonishing that the memories they leave might be as powerful as real ones. So, do yourself a favor and get lost in The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings. Like a great novel, you'll want to return to it again, if only to be part of a world you never wanted to leave.